Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back in the Ford Mustang GT3, this time at Watkins Glen Boot for yet another track guide. Now, if you want to race this exact setup being used by Gianni Lutzu, you've got the option of going to our website, which is being shown on the screen here, sambosetups.com, or you can go to our Patreon page. Both will get you the same things, but you will get them about 3 or 4 days earlier directly from our website. Any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you want to get coaching from Gianni Lutzu himself, 10,500k, iRating and a real-life racing driver, full-time driver coach, you can go to lutzudriverperformance.com. There is a link in the website for that as well. Right. Pushing it down the main straight, looking for the 300 marker on the left-hand side. Brakes up to about 60%, down to third gear, back on the gas nice and early. Exits nice and wide, using the full track and then some on exit. Absolutely flat as we go through turns 2, 3, and 4 here. Right. At the 300 mark, on the brakes with about 50%, down to fourth gear, back on the gas nice and early, particularly ramming it through those second two apexes, and now only on the brakes with like 3%. That's not to slow the car, it's just to make sure the weight is over the front tyres so that they can grip up for that storm drain, braking about 50%. Again, long trail off this time, down to third, nice smooth throttle application on exit. Over to the left-hand side, don't brake too early. At the 100, braking about 55%. And again, longish trail off, dropping it down to second this time. Don't go too early, and you will end up in that grass on exit. Right, looking at the 200 marker, braking up to about 65%. Again, down to second gear. And again, Johnny keeps it inside the track. There is now more punitive off-track on the outside there. And to second gear and smoothly back on. That's probably the best I've ever seen anyone take that corner. I'm awful at it. Just a lift as we go through turn 10. Back over the left-hand side, end of the tyre wall, on the brakes for about 25%, down to third gear, exit nice and wide without going in the wall. Pin our ears back for the line. And over and across he goes in a 142.1. Right. So here we are with the breakdown lap. So we've got the 300 marker on the left-hand side. So goes through there and hits what peak of about 62%. Drops it down to third, picking back up on the gas, 100% at the exit, and he's got nearly 90-degree lock on right and down. It's a bit straightforward. Make sure you're using that camber. Just try and clip that in a curve just to feel the vibration. And again through here. Right, the inner loop. So we're going to be just before the 200 marker on the left-hand side. So there it is. And he reaches 55% briefly. He's now going to trail it off down to the first apex, you can see here. Then, once he straightens his wheel out, and the car's fully back down again, he's going to brake slightly harder, the second apex, and then starts getting back on the gas at the second apex and reaches 100% before we meet the third apex of the series. That through there. Now we're going to do a lift, basically. Once this pylon more or less moves out of the center of our vision and moves over off the left-hand side, you can see, that's when we do a lift, and he's just holding sort of 3, 4, 5% brake pressure. He's going to maintain that until, on the right side of the screen, you can just see now that Marshall's hook coming into view. Now, this is just the field of view that we have on YouTube for this, but it is right on the right-hand side of my center triple monitor. I can see that Marshall's hook in full. That's when you get back on the gas. Exit nice and wide. Now, you don't want to hit that grass on exit because it will be an off-track. And we're going to start braking about 2 or 3 car lengths before this storm drain that's directly in front of the car on the grass. There we go. And he reaches a peak pressure of about 50-55%. And it's a long trail off this time. And he's going to start picking back up on the gas once you can see those trees just on the left-hand side of your screen. Head over to the left-hand side. I'm going to brake at the 100 mark here as we come into turn 6, 7. 6, 7. Oh, no. Right, on the brakes up to about 55%. And again, a longish trail off, picking back up on the gas around now. So more or less once you're pointing at the end of these trees directly ahead of us, but he doesn't reach 100% until he's more or less, I don't know, halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way through the corner. Right, we're going to brake at the 200 mark as we come into turn 8. So there we go. And again, reaches a peak pressure of about 65%. Trails that off down to second gear, picking back up on the gas once you're pointing at that house. Looks like a toilet. Right, this is the braking marker. This is what it should look like when you are braking for turn 9. So there's nothing specifically on view. Trail it off, bang on the gas, nice. We're going to start our turn in at the 200. Midway across, we're going to do a big lift. And then we're going to pick back up to 100% once we're at the apex. We'll send you out wide, that's fine. Head back out to the left-hand side. Now you've got two things you can look at here, either the white line on the road, or you can look at the end of this tyre barrier on the left-hand side. So as we get there, he manages to hit 24% peak pressure. Trails it off down to here, and then we're back up to 100%. Thanks for watching. We have one final version coming up next with the driving line on without me talking. Enjoy.